Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone, and with me tonight we have
Pixie playing Cosmo, the Starfallen agent. You're muted.
And I'm Jen Giggles, and I am playing Hilda, the Kitsune Fiendbinder.
Hi, I'm Meg, and I'm playing Norda, the Voijanasi Lunarchist.
Hello, it is I, Andrew, playing Portos, the Warden.
Hi, and I'm Eco, and I am playing River, the Animist Red Panda Magi.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. This is our third-party Panic game. We are playing D&D 5th edition, utilizing the barest minimum of Wizards of the Coast products. Everybody here is featuring at least a race and subclass from a third-party publisher. Most of the monsters I am pulling are from third-party publishers as well. And this is our big fun time showing that there are some great creators and publishers out there outside of Wizards of the Coast. So do we have like a list or a link or something we put up for people or
No,
right?
because Stream Elements wasn't working the first two games that I tried to set it up. So I don't have it yet, but we're working on it, and you are welcome to join the Discord to come ask us any questions about any of these classes. By next week, I should have up a full link and page on the website and everything with who's playing what and all of those things.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, we have a ton of third-party resources that we have been pulling on. They are fantastic publishers. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the Discord or in the chat. And we are happy to have you guys here. Before we jump into tonight's adventure, is there anything that you all would like to promote or mention? Any shows or channels that you guys want to give a shout out to?
I will be rolling dice tonight that we made. I'll be rolling sets of dice that are all available for sale on the website, including the aptly named Cosmo set, because that's my character's name, and it's got stars and moons and stuff, and you can see better photos online. So that's my big thing right now. We have to pay rent. There's dice. Put those two together. Let's go.
And I'm from All on the Table. We are part of the Transverse here on Twitch, so Twitch TV/the Transverse. Every Saturday at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 Central, we do a RPG, typically D&D or Pathfinder right now, and we have 2 games that are exclusive to our YouTube channel at the Transverse on YouTube. One's a superhero game, the other is D&D.
Very cool. Very, very cool. So anybody else? I think as far as I know, that's it. We also have some other games. We play Vampire the Masquerade on Tuesday nights. Wednesday nights we have Endless Wonder.
It's switching to Mondays.
Monday nights we have Endless Wonder.
Yes.
and lots of other things throughout the week. So thank you guys for being here. If there's nothing else, let's get into it. Our adventure takes place in Decatopolis. It is the 10th city on the world of Oltensia, a mega city, a place that stretches as far as the eye can see in every direction. Near impossible, but impossible is not a thing here in Oltensia. It is a world brimming with energy, scientific energy, magical energy, a consciousness warping, unbridled power that shifts reality beyond any of our comprehension. It is called Aether. And in this Aether-drenched planet, the 10 cities have sort of huddled into their respective regions and filled themselves with a few locals, with some that perhaps remember the great before, but it is mostly populated by fringers, those that have wandered in from the Aether Fields, stepping off of their home world, plane, planet, and reality into this roiling bit of chaos and order. It is in Decatopolis that we begin our tale. In recent months, this particular city has been under threat of pure destruction. The baleful plague spreads, a consciousness of a shapeshifter infecting, as you all now know, not just not just living matter, but seemingly also inanimate matter as well, assimilating it into his own being and consciousness. It forms a hive-like entity threat, but it is far more insidious than that. You all have noticed that there are attempts by this baleful ooze that screams as it is cut or bludgeoned, that cries in pain, whether it understands pain or not. This sentient drip is attempting to infect any and all that it can. You all have recently returned from a venture across the quarantine zone, sort of a front line that volunteers and guardsmen of the city have kind of set up to try to slow the growing region under the control of the Bale. You are at the Plan G, a former government building from some lost age that has been converted by the locals into this vibrant, neon-drenched, music-soaked, occasionally with a karaoke night, bar. A place where the liveliness of the city is on full display. Those of you that ventured into the quarantine zone, you have had a long rest. So any level 1 injuries should go to level 0. I don't think anybody had a level 2 or higher. Those would drop down 1. So, you do have some exploration missions that you guys would still like to do. You know of a library that is in the Undercity within the quarantine zone. And you were heading into the Undercity of the quarantine zone to also seek out what seems to be Bale's current preferred food target is creatures that are either psionic in nature or that devour the brains and intelligence of other creatures, like illithids. So, with that said, the news of the special report up on the Aether screens are silenced. The news that is scrolling through is not of much great interest. There are many reports on the different gladiator leagues and combat teams throughout the city. The different leagues have sort of dissipated a bit since the explosion of the Bale, but it is still the preferred way for all entities and regions of the city, for companies and organizations to resolve their differences, as it were. This large-scale warfare is purely prohibited due to the unstable nature of the Aether. And with that, I turn it over to you all. Please, when you have a moment, introduce yourselves. Let us know where you are and what you are up to.
Porthos is already drinking, so you see a armored up brat sitting in his usual spot, drinking himself some sewer water, as the beer is called. Still regaling everybody about how he was with a mighty team that took down a giant devil and some weird creature with a gun on its arm. Just looking over and going, have you ever fought something with a giant machine gun on his arm? I don't think you have. Don't worry about it.
Hilda.
No, haven't thought anything with giant machine gun on its arm. I did, however, there was this thing with a with like a chopper on the arm, and it had a motor to it. It'd go, rah, 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 rah,
Oh,
rah, 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 rah,
I
and
noticed
it
the
was
hand is missing. Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, well, it wasn't actually the fight. It was like, because we had a team up, and then it was like, you're awesome, high five, right, and so
Oh, yes, high-fiving can be dangerous. I understand, my friend.
yeah, it's all right though.
Get this man a shot.
Yeah. Now they gave me this. You watch as he doesn't have an appendage, at least not most of the time, but sort of a bluish hollow energy when he kind of focuses off this aether band, sort of forms a finger appendage for him. It is you notice when he pays more attention to it, it has more like sort of details and things like that. But when he is just like absently picking up the drink or not really paying attention, the function of it can even collapse down to more like a grabber than an actual hand. Seems to be much more subconscious than like it, until he's actively paying attention.
It does what he needs it to do.
Yeah, and it can do other things, but if he's not paying attention, it just sort of.
It's like the anti-phantom limb syndrome, where it's just gonna do it for him instead of like
It's
him
forgotten
having to...
limb syndrome. Oh fuck, it's there. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In some ways, absolutely.
That's awesome. What is your name, friend?
Bragan. Bragan's my name. Bragan was my game. We're just gonna stick with Bragan though, because it's tough with.
That's a strong name. I like it. Porthos, my friend. That's
Porthos. Good to meet you. It's actually a family name. Yeah. I come from a long line of Bragans. There's a good. I think I am the fourth Bragan. Bragan the fourth. Yeah.
That is a lot of Brigans. Oh, Hildy. Oh, I am so sorry, friend. I don't mean to cut you off. I see Hildy walking. My apologies.
You're all right. Watch out for the.
She sits down and says, I'm sorry, you're still telling this story. I don't, that was days ago. Haven't you had anything else to do?
My throat just healed, actually, so I'm feeling a little better.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to cut in real quick. So you tell me how many days it's been.
Originally, for research purposes, because we were planning on taking 2 weeks off, it was going to be a couple of days because we were going to be out, and then we skipped the 2 weeks of shows, but I assumed we'd want to still get those things, done. So I think I was assuming a couple of days.
Do we want to montage a little bit so that we can study the sword in that time frame, too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am perfectly fine with it. It affects my world, and so you tell me how many days you want it to be. 2?
2 is fine. Yeah.
2 days. Okay. This is the 3rd day since 2 days have passed.
Porthos
2 moons
have passed. Sorry.
Porthos needed 1 day of vocal rest.
Yeah.
There was nothing,
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it was everyone's favorite day.
Lovingly, but yes.
We love you, but it was a day of silence.
It was a day of us mistranslating his jokes at the bar. Oh, he wants this. Like, on purpose.
Getting him fancy drinks with like fruit in them instead of sewer water beer.
Hilda, after sitting down and clapping you on the back, congratulations there. She's like, so Cosmo and I have been researching. Have you seen her today? She said it would be done soon. She was pretty close.
Cosmo waves at you from the table at the corner. She was behind a book already there. Don't forget to describe yourself, by the way.
Hilda is a stark white Arctic fox with like a basic like Norse tunic and trousers on, no boots, just like basically capris or right down to the knee. And she'll wander over to the table and sit down next to Cosmo. Basically, you know why she's there. She's looking to see if we've solved the mystery of that buried library hint we'd heard, and the sword.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming in 2 days, Cody, before I do my intro and stuff, that 2 days would not be enough for me and Dream to completely research the sword, correct? Like, it needs more time, or could I have made some rolls? Like, what?
Sure. What would you like to know about the sword?
We said... we had specific things that we were planning on.
Is it cursed? That'd be the very first
the
one.
very first thing was, is it cursed?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing right now. Is it cursed?
Cursed in what way?
If one of us bond with it, is it going to try to force its desires on our own? That's what I care about.
So,
is this Cravenedge? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I get that. So the Sword of the Dalkir is a, like I said, it is a sword, not the sword, right? So it is not of that nature. The Dalkir are. Why don't you guys make me Arcana or nature, history? Kind of, I'll take anything but religion, really. Or you could go with religion, I guess.
You want all of us to roll that?
Yeah. This can be one of you don't have to, but this can be one of those downtime day, what you spent the day doing sort of things.
23 on
14.
Arcana.
Okay, 23 and 14. Sounds good.
I got a 19.
Thank you, 19. So yeah, we'll call those three successes there. The Dalkir are creatures sort of like Bale, but they seemingly are different. They're shape-shifting aberrations that have more in common with sort of outer gods and madness. So they use flesh-shaped living armor and weapons. And that's it. If you read the old Star Wars Legacy books, they're the Yuuzhan Vong, right? They, in a way, they don't use technology. All of the things that they have that do things, it's sort of like the Flintstones. They use these crazy animals that have been not animals, they're more like dreamt up monstrosities, right? So those things, they are not strictly magical. They are not magical in the way like an enchanted sword is. They do not have a consciousness the way an enchanted weapon or a sentient weapon would. They do have desires. You have seen and heard that. And because they're associated with the outer aberrations, you know that comes with a level of whispering and voices that is just guaranteed. Like that's just what happens out there. A lot of debate on if it's coming from somewhere else, if it's coming from within, if it's a reflection of the self, blah 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 blah.
Excellent.
So we get rid of the sword is what we're getting out here.
Well,
So I mean, do you want to know the benefits of the sword?
yes, please.
Oh yeah, hey, that part.
Yes.
I mean, it's up to you. If you're good with, if you're done with the
I
downfalls.
have a theory.
then-
Let's.
Well,
get the
this
benefits
was
of the
Cosmo telling Porthos all the negatives, so Porthos only heard negative. So he's like, so we get rid of the sword.
Right. So the sword does have a it's the second heart gives you advantage on Constitution saving throws to resist pretty much anything, and it has a fall down wake up mechanic, right? Similar to, instead of being reduced to 0, the heart kicks in and you're reduced to 1 hit point instead, which is, I think it's the orc mechanic.
Endless
relentless
brave-
endurance.
endless
Yeah.
endurance,
Yeah.
That's it.
Relentless endurance.
Yeah.
So that is that. It does count as magical, and you cannot be disarmed of it.
So, I feel like Cosmo, behind her giant stack of books, you see this, because she's at the bar, she's got her coat off, her long black duster hanging on the back of her chair, long black leather duster hanging on the back of her chair. She is about 5'5", all muscle, and she has this short, swept over sort of, it fades into black at the roots, but it's purple. Hair that looks like Vi from Arcane, as far as the cut and everything like that. Like I said, she's very muscular and she has a pale bluish gray skin, but all over her body are tattoos that seem to glow from the inside. Some days you've seen them brighter than others, and some days just kind of casually. And they all are shaped like constellations, monstrous constellations, dragons and phoenixes and gorgons and all these monsters, but as constellation shapes. You've seen both her inherent magic and her eyes and her tattoos all glow in that same vibrant, northern lights almost purple. When you're in planets or timelines or locations that have them. Otherwise, it's just a very neon reminiscent shade. And she has a unique blend of tools and trinkets on her at all times. Giant gun, giant sword, tons of books, tiny reading glasses that she'll put on when she's really focused on things. You've seen her beat someone to death with a book and then feel really bad that she damaged the binding of something she wasn't done using yet. So she does sit with these pages and pages of notes from the 2 days that she spent mostly at the agency that she works for. Doing this research, she would pop in for a little bit at a time, last couple nights for a drink and then pop out again. Usually because someone like Hilda or River dragged her there because she forgot to come out of her little study hole. She does go through those pros and cons, and then she sits in to anyone who's in earshot of their group, if it's just Hilda, or if Porthos comes over to join at their table for a moment, and she says, bottom line is this: we've already seen how terrible it is facing whatever's down there. If there was ever a chance for us to, as a group, let someone try and wield the sword with the understanding or contractual obligation to let it go if it starts causing too much mental anguish, it might be the chance to test it. I'm not saying necessarily keep it, I'm not saying necessarily get rid of it, I'm saying it could be useful too for the pros, if someone could mentally and psychologically withstand the cons. Speaking of which, by the way, we are sort of... I would like to try to hit that library. It might actually have some books on, helping with things like this, and more importantly, if we're going to go back to... what the fuck is his name? If we're going to go back to, Safarian, with anything, and might want to sell him said sword if it turns out to be too much for one of us, then having the items he requested might be a nice perk. and bargaining chip for that sort of negotiation. However, I do quite honestly think we were in a bit over our heads when we went to the library. Or when we went down to the quarantine area, and the library seems risky. We might want to bring in an extra body or two. And she looks at Hilda and says, "Did you ever do a job with a monk named Norda?"
You know, I did. Quite helpful. Just the two of us took down one of the weaker fiends. Usually it's a 3-person job.
Yeah, I've sparred with her before, and she could put me through a wall with ease. Might be
And she
worth
could
seeing
put
if
down
she's
a drink.
available. She what?
And she can put down a drink.
There you
Let me
go.
tell you what.
It might be worth reaching out, seeing if she's up for a little adventuring.
She usually is in around this time of night. Just give us 10 minutes and she might come with you more.
Or she could be here right now.
That was my thing. I already did it. All right. We can't just keep on popping up for each other. I'm here, and I was here the whole time.
Oh no, she's already there. She's hiding
Of course
in
she
shadows
is.
because that's what she does. So there's a dark portion of the plan, and sort of like tentatively manifesting out of the shadow is this. She's about 5'7", wearing a dark brown and gray, like a gi, sleeveless because sleeves are bullshit. With a sleeveless hooded like duster. Her skin is deep royal purple, and there are it looks like her fingers have been dipped in ink, and it's starting to like drip down up her forearms, and like these black veins that sort of run up her arms. Black pupilless nonsense for her eyes, and her hair it's in a ponytail, the kind of high that drifts down back, but it's like it starts very dark with gray streaks and just sort of trails off into smoke as she just like walks out of the shadows. She's been eyeing the stage where the karaoke is, trying to figure out if she wants to do karaoke or not. So she's kind of like maybe stealing herself, but sees you. Oh, hello. It's good to see you all. My God, you're all here in one place. This is odd.
Oh, you haven't seen Odd. Have we told you about the sword we found?
Where did she come from? How do you do that? That is so confusing. I
It's
look to
just
my
a
right and I
body.
see River is sitting there like, River, stop sneaking up on me. Oh my god.
This isn't you meet in a tavern. This is you materialize in a tavern. Every
Why is it a
fucking.
tavern?
This is our spawn point. You spawn in a tavern.
Yeah.
River definitely just like walked in with her goggles in, reading one of her spell books, fully just ignoring 90% of what was happening and just sat next to him. Like she didn't materialize. She just walked in during the conversation.
Porthos
Just
has
super
nothing
focused.
in wisdom, so this is all easy.
And River's just like, I was here this whole time. I don't understand why you're so confused.
You're so silent. I don't know how you did it, but I'm glad you're here because I don't like going anywhere without you around. Like, it makes me nervous.
It makes me nervous now too after last time.
Someone has to chase you up those buildings.
I feel like I should give him the sword. Like the popping up again thing. Porthos needs it, okay? Porthos fucking needs it. I'm not wrong. That's all. Like genuinely, I do think in and out of character that if it's worth the risk, we're going places as a group. Try it on an adventure. See if it fucks with somebody too much. If it does, we'll kick it out. If it does, we'll force it away from them. Like, we're agreeing as a group that if it starts driving somebody's head crazy, we take it away from them again. And don't let them keep it, because because there's enough things fucking with our brains in this goddamn city right now. We don't need that. But like, if someone keeps has like really good wisdom and shit and can keep on and doesn't bother them, or no tragic past to haunt them with whispers, great, amazing. Maybe I should keep it. I have no past. Like,
I was gonna
sure,
say,
I still-
Porthos just said he's not very wise.
That's fair. So we'll see what it does. I don't know what kind of whispers it uses. It might traumatize us in other ways. It might whisper from your dead parents in your head. Bonus, I have none. I'd be fine. But like, who knows? So I'm trying to offer, like, I'm not trying, like, yeah, I'm good.
Porthos kind of looks over at you and goes, that was a lot of things. One, not very good with the mind stuff. Two, I do have a very tragic past. I don't have all three of my brothers with me, so I don't necessarily know how the whispers are gonna whisper to me. But if you really need someone to swing that sword and test it out, I shouldn't be too hard to recontrol.
Are their names Aramis, Athos, and D'Artagnan?
Yes, they are.
I'm so happy right now.
Perfect. It is perfect.
They're the Mouseketeers. Oh,
They're the
Jesus Christ.
Musketeers.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome
I
to
quit!
Oltensia, everybody. Welcome to Porthos' backstory.
Why did it take me this long?
When there's just one of him,
angry.
I assumed that was inspired by. But then he goes, I don't have all three of my brothers with me, and anyone might skip that unless you are obsessed with the Three Musketeers original Disney version like I am and just watched the other day. In which case you know there's four of them. And there they are. Like, fuck.
Jesus Christ.
So,
What a life.
if you need me to hold on to it and try it out, it shouldn't be too hard to ring me back in for those with the magic ability. But if not, of course, Cosmo, you can hang on to the sword. You probably got an easier time resisting.
Do I? The fuck is my wisdom? Oh, right, it's
I
one of
only
my
have a
top two
+1.
stats. I absolutely do. It's my top stat. I absolutely do. If we think it's a wisdom save thing, meta-wise. If not, it might not be. That was just like a...
My thing is that you don't really go in and swing a sword too
That's
often.
All right,
Uh,
I'll take it if you want me to. Someone, if it
What
does...
about Hilda?
I don't know how to use it.
Exactly. So,
I
and,
think it's a big you'd be able to swing a sword.
I've got my daggers.
Norda famously, and she just rolls her eyes lovingly at this argument they've had forever. Her hands and her body are her weapons.
Very
Yes,
effective
but-
weapon.
Yes,
But I can. She just picks the sword up. But I can.
I know you can. Did you want to? You've been pretty adamant about being good enough as is.
Oh no, I'm very good as is, but I can also help with this if you would like a test drive.
I'm up for it either way.
It has my vote.
Great.
But I will.
Saves a lot to say. I will have to again wrestle it away from you if it gets too much, but
You can try.
see. That's why I get worried. That's why I wanted to give it to the rat.
See, maybe we should do
Easy to
Porthos, maybe
subdue.
you should have it.
Well,
Maybe
you
should have
know,
it, Porthos.
you offered. Hilda and I will take you down if we have to. So, unit. We both know how you fight. Like, personally, I feel like we have a better chance than the other two.
Yeah.
Oh.
Porthos is just having flashes of visions of him getting punched in the face over and over again in his head.
Listen,
Alright.
I was the support. I never got punched in the face.
Exactly.
So
Okay,
now-
so we give it to Norda. Norda hangs on to it. Norda's gonna hear the whispering, probably some weird, creepy stuff in her head. And are we going to the library? I'm excited for the
Would
library.
very much like to, yes.
And back to you, Cody.
Cool. Go ahead.
As we're leaving, I'm gonna hold Porthos back a little bit while I'm trying to figure out where to put a sword in my stuff now.
I give you a
just
hilt.
Wonder Woman it. Just Wonder Woman it. You're between them ass cheeks and the back of your dress.
I'll give you like a
Um,
leather thing to like actually tie onto your back so you can
Yeah.
hang it onto your back.
Thank you. She reaches into her duster and pulls out this like box, this metallic, like rainbow sheen metallic box, and hands it to Porthos. I think perhaps this was something you were looking for.
Oh, Oh my. Yes, thank you very much, Norbert. You didn't no brothers in the area, right?
No.
I
I'm sorry.
appreciate you very much.
She puts a hand on his little head.
They'll be out there. I'll find them.
I know. We will find them together, yes?
Indeed. This is very good, though. Thank you. Thank you.
What does this sword do? And she just sort of... Yeah.
Just dodging as I'm sitting there.
What the hell?
So it is a it is a longsword for you. So it does sort of adjust in size. I'm assuming you take the time to attune to it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you take the time to attune to it. It does it does get under your skin in both a figurative and literal sense. And there is, even though it sort of ceases to be obvious, wherever you put it, like if you just sort of held it against your back, it would kind of grab on and stay there. Which is also why you can't be disarmed of it.
That broke Jen. Oh my god.
I kind of want the sword now.
Whereas Meg is used to Meg is used to flesh crafting in our vampire game, so this is unfazed. We're fine.
Mhm.
It's at least it's not in your body. All right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yet.
we're fine. Oh my god. Nope. Taking it back.
You
Yet.
you do notice a couple of small things. One, the heartbeat kicks in time with yours. And you're not quite sure which one influences the other more. But no voices yet.
Cool.
And there you go. You are attuned.
And it's just a longsword.
It's a magical longsword.
So
It gives
plus one
you-
or
No, but it counts as magic.
magic. Okay.
Yeah, it counts as magic. It gives you advantage on Constitution saving throws. You cannot be disarmed of it, and it what is it? Death ward. Just treat it like death ward.
Heard. Thank you.
Cool.
I'm rolling my daily D4, by the way, to see what form I am in.
Great. You guys are heading out from the Plan G. You're going. Where are you going?
Library.
To the library. Great.
Yes.
The library is in the Undercity. It is in the quarantine zone. So, I believe we had this question previously, but you may have changed your mind. Do you want to go to the Undercity first and then go into the quarantine zone, or do you want to go into the quarantine zone then to the Undercity? Yes, Porthos.
Can we stop and get health potions first, please?
Oh god,
You
this time,
can.
yes, please. Don't forget, we all have our
Yeah.
everyone except Norda has our one-time haunted portraits. I don't know if we've already
Brooch.
used them. Brooch, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, just so everyone knows, the form I am in today for my magic stability. Supernova. Your spellcasting modifier is doubled. However, any spellcasting roll of 5 or lower on the die is considered a critical failure. So I don't cast that many spells, but the ones I do, nah.
Okay.
How much gold did
I
we
see.
get from the last game?
4,500.
Thank you. And we put the 5. We each got, the 4 of us who were there each got 1,000. We put 500 in party gold, correct?
On a note, since we're noting things, Hilda is having a bad day on her tinnitus. She gets a negative 3 to the to any roll, is according to the Limitless Heroics book.
Okay.
Okay, I think I misquoted. It was 4,500 in the group. 1,000 per person? Does that sound more correct?
Yes.
You
So
you
that
all
it
got
was-
one. There's 4 of
Yeah,
you.
we
You all
don't-
got 1,000. You put 500
In the back.
in the group. So that's 4,500 divided that way.
There we go. There we go.
So we go shopping.
Shopping.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is Oltensia, and this is Decatopolis. So I would like all of you, if you have any, oh man, they don't have a role for that. If you have any background features that would allow you to have like a local contact or anything like that, now is a good time to mention those. If you do not,
I
okay,
do.
cool.
I fucking do.
Anybody that
Come
does
on.
not come with one, go ahead and roll me a I'll take investigation, or if you can justify a different one like history or nature or survival. You're looking for shops. Shops move, shops change. That's just the nature of the city.
I got an 18 investigation.
Okay.
I follow River.
Sounds good.
I go nowhere without River.
With a 12, I'm probably just going to be sticking with Cosmo.
Okay. Sounds good. Cosmo and Norda. Let's figure out who those sellers are. Let's start with Norda.
Yeah, I think it's definitely whoever runs portals or like travel. Is
So travel, yes, there are no portals in Oltentia because portals and teleporting is how you end up in other realms.
We had that
without-
accident in that first episode where we accidentally,
Yeah, without any real guarantee of arrival. So teleportation is dangerous here. Shorter distances, lesser problems, right? But you've been in town long enough to have come up with at least a friend or two. I think. What you just tell me their name.
Leafy.
Leafy. Okay.
Leafy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you make your way over to Leafy's greens and blues and reds, and on your way in, it is a short sort of 2-story building. Looks like it was part of. We would recognize it as like a strip mall, but it's not the full thing. It's kind of like 1 or 2 shops size, and over on the side, the building just kind of didn't all make it through the portal, right? But it is under the effects of it's been overgrown, right? The nature has reclaimed this building Chernobyl style, but without the radiation. It doesn't have doors, so to speak, but it has vines that do like the beaded curtain sort of thing. And you guys are make your way in, and sort of the Queen of the Borg from like Star Trek First Contact, sort of, or Captain EO, Angela, sort of
Angelica
with
Houston.
vines. Yeah, Angelica Houston, sort of vines, this very feminine form, attached into this living ecosystem, is sort of lowered down, and that is kind of how she is, I guess, like toured about. And she comes down, her hair long and thick with very fine leaves in these long sort of vine-like braids, has kind of a dreadlock effect. Oh, Norda, welcome back. How are you?
Leafy, it is good to see you. Been been well. How's it hanging?
Holding on like always. Yeah, we're holding on. And she'll sort of reach out and kind of touch one of the leaves of like a small palm plant. The way people that like keep plants and are like, oh, this is my child, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay. You can tell it needs water. All right, cool. Good for you. I don't see the difference, but that's okay. And she's like, oh, we're just getting over a little infection, but we're doing okay.
Oh. She goes to a different plant because she don't know, and just sort of pats its leaves. I'm very sorry. You are brave and strong.
See, there you go. And you don't know if the plants are talking to her or not, but she just does.
Leafy, I'd like to introduce you to my companions.
Oh, hello. How are you all doing?
Hello.
Good. How are you?
Good. You'll notice as she watches the three of you with fur come in. You notice that maybe you do, maybe you don't, but the soft leaf and wet vine sort of plants sort of recede, and more hard bark trees that had formed underneath become a little more exposed. So it's a subtle, slow-moving transition.
Hilda's going to smile her very sharp teeth to show that she is not a threat to the plants in any way, shape, or form.
I lean over the river and I go, are they supposed to be scratching posts now, or what is going on?
She doesn't know if you guys like to climb, so she's like, "We'll just make it a little."
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Should I climb them out of respect?
Whole heart. I love her with my entire soul. If anything ever happens to this plant, I will burn all of Altensia to the ground.
I don't want to offend the plants. Do I climb them now that they've done this much effort to let me climb them? I'm asking her at this point.
Oh, you're asking. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were talking in the party and she wasn't here.
No. I'm talking to her.
Oh no, she goes. If you want to, they're open to it, but there is no requirement.
I climb.
Okay. Yeah. You can climb up there. Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice tree. I don't know what you.
It smells good.
It does. It's very earthy in here. So what are we all looking for? What can I find for you all?
Healing potions.
Healing potions. Okay. Let me see what I have in stock. Okay. And so she kind of goes she goes back and starts moving some stuff around. And the presented in kind of blossoming flower bulbs, right, are they kind of line up and present. So here are all the potions that we've been able to put together at the moment. You look over them and she goes, well, so she has a 3 potions of healing, 3 regular potions of healing. That is 150 bits a piece. A potion of invisibility, which is, we're gonna say 4,000 bits. And a filter of love for 300 bits.
What's a filter of love?
It's a love potion. That's what it does. It's like a
Whatever.
charm. It's like it does like a charm effect. It's a love.
Okay.
potion.
Is there someone in your life you need to charm? I can teach you instead of having to pay gold. Or bits.
No. I think I'm fine.
Okay, I was just making sure, you know. I have a way with sweet talking.
That you do. That you do.
Yeah. So she goes through those, and she's like, "Well, those are the best ones that I have available. I do have some totems," and she presents these. They look like small plant statues, basically, kind of like a tiki mug or like a mini totem pole, but instead of being carved, it's more like it grew in that fashion. And it has these kind of faces in there. You can look at it. It is thin wood in along the joints, right? Very kind of balsa wood. There's a little bit of space in between there where it didn't all grow together, right? Like when two trees are planted next to each other, you can kind of see it's that sort of action. These are one-time use items that are similar to like scrolls or potions or things like that. But these are, it is a fire protection of fire elemental protection. Then there is a blight spell and a blink spell. That's what.
These are
This
basically
is-
like scrolls, right? Out of game?
Yeah, they're like scrolls. Yeah, you don't have to know the spell or be able to cast the spell to utilize this, though.
What was
Listen,
the
wanted it
first
to
potion?
be-
I'm so sorry, Cody. What was the first potion?
3 healing and a filter of love.
I'll
And
be
invisibility.
grabbing the
And
one of the
invisibility.
healing potions.
How much were the healing potions?
150 each, I believe.
Purchase all 3 of them for sure. The healing potions for sure we're going to take off your hands.
Okay, and there you are.
How much are the totems?
The totems are, so for the blink totem, it is 250. For the fire protection, that's gonna be out of your range. That's like 2,000. And blight is 900.
Okay.
Ooh, some steep prices there.
I really wanted it to be like a plant version of the goat statuette.
Oh no, unfortunately.
It turns into a plant. That is terrible.
I mean, if you want a little clipping, we can get you one.
Oh no, thank you. I have my thumbs. They are not green.
Oh.
Mm.
River just looks at her hands like, I don't think mine are either.
We have a
Porthos kind of
question.
drops.
We have a question from the chat if their bits can be used as in-game bits, because you said bits, and so
Sure.
donation. So we have 300 extra bits to spend,
There you go.
just so you all know.
300 tiny portal forms and 300 bits drops on the go.
No. Oh,
It's
I found 300 bits in this pocket.
so bits have a odd practice. They are named that because they are bits of reality, right? They're
So yes, then they went
they're
through
little-
the Matrix at us.
They're little tiny sort of coin-like holdings, usually created by grounders. That's one of their values. And when utilized, they are sort of put like charms around the house to, when you go to sleep, make sure the house remains the same until you wake up. They are what bring consistency to the city of Mortacity. And they have an odd habit of occasionally, when left alone in a purse or pocket for too long, of multiplying or eroding with little reason or care.
Did you
cool.
just invent that lore because I said that? Was that off the cuff? Fuck you, Cody. I love it. Sorry, it fits so well. The lore, the world, this fucking world. I want to live there. I don't. It sounds horrible, but it sounds wonderful, and I love it so much. If this is if this is the dystopian reality we're heading towards, I'm not upset.
We did name them when last we talked about them. They're bits. They're bits.
Yeah,
of
exactly. I remember that, but like the rest of it.
Yeah, but the rest of it. Yeah, there you go.
So Porthos drops the other 150 from the tree.
All right. Oh, okay.
So because the 300 went, and then we dropped the 150 there, so that's 450.
So we have 3 potions to split amongst whoever we need. Cool. Good to know.
Wait, why do we need
150
4?
is I'd put in 150 to grab a potion. So
okay.
Okay, so there's only 3 healing potions, correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
Correct.
there's only 3.
Okay.
So then maybe we use 150 of what we just got from. Well, Hildy, you can keep your 150, and I'll pay the 150 because I'm definitely getting one of those. 100%, I need that.
we're going to
You
be
would
on
need
the
it
front
anyway.
lines.
Yeah,
So we
that's very
both need
true.
potions.
I'm
Yeah.
on board, and whoever else is going to be closer to the front is welcome to take it as well. I feel like that's going to be Norda.
Yes.
I feel like it's not going to be me and River. I'm ranged, and River is ranged and healed. Like, we're good.
So you buy the next round, Hildy. You know, that's what we'll do.
Sounds good.
And people are buying plant totems. Sorry, continue.
No.
But no,
We
I
were
think,
thinking about it.
I think that's for another time. I have them written down now, so I'll keep track of it, and if there's something that we might think we need them for, come back here and pick them up, scoop them up if she's still got them.
Okay. So Leafy bids you all a farewell. You did have one other successful shop. Well, you had a couple, but Cosmo, what sort of shop are you?
So so I like to think, given the combination of my background features that allow me to have contacts within the city and or parent organization features, right?
Yeah.
I know a private investigator in town who has a small curio shop on the side that he sells off items recovered from places he was investigating that no longer had a home. People went missing and their families didn't want all their stuff. He just has. Little uncomfy, really good at what he does though. Like, and so I have used him in the past when I don't have enough resources from the agency and or I'm doing stuff on the side. And not the only agency consultant who does use him, but he definitely has some days nothing and some days I recovered this entire ass house. Where do you want me to put it? It wasn't being used. This key will open it anywhere. Like, kind of bullshit. Like, he just... It's a hit or miss with him.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. What's his name?
Parker.
Parker. All right. You guys make your way over to Parker's shop. Parker lives above a shop is sort of downstairs. You know, his office is upstairs. It's this defunct jazz club that occasionally people have like come in and will do like pop-up performances, and he is in the office with the circular window that kind of overlooks it. His office is much smaller. He could move everything downstairs, but he just doesn't. You guys make your way in. A lot of exposed brick and metal beams, all sort of turn of the century, perhaps mid-century stylings, and he's got this large dark wooden desk, a high back chair on wheels, and when you come in, he's got the tan trench coat. His hat is over on a hat rack, like a coat rack. Actually, that's where the coat would be as well. He doesn't need it inside. Suspenders, dark trousers, gumshoe shoes, sleeves rolled up, and another cigarette with an ashtray full of butts, sort of burning away in his mouth. as you guys make your way in.
I'm sorry, did we just walk into Sam Spade's office?
Yeah, we 100% just it got black and white when we walked in. Just like
No,
immediately, no.
Sepia toned.
Sepia tone. There you go. Exactly. Just the light. There's that single light bulb swinging in the hallway. We're nowhere near a train station, but for some reason it shakes as though we are every few minutes.
Absolutely.
She flew in on her little wings. I could tell that she needed something from me today.
Stop doing
You
that,
all
Parker.
hear that. you hear that narration.
Yeah, right above.
Sort of as you guys are walking.
All right.
Are walking
That
in.
happens here sometimes. Don't worry about it. It gets a little ominous sometimes. It does not necessarily mean we're doomed. It just means some part of his head thinks we are. Anyway.
Some part of her was reading like Doom.
We were all.
Nora just puts the sword to her ear.
Doesn't.
Is it
doesn't
begun?
say.
Is it time?
Oh, trust me,
No?
it's not that. We can all hear this one.
Oh.
The purple monk seems to be talking to a sword. This was alarming.
So, Parker, darling,
He sort of snaps back to you. You noticed he was reading a case file, and when the mind drifts, he makes a very good detective because wherever he comes from, psionics are much more normal, and here, his internal monologue when he's not paying attention echoes.
I love every single thing about that, quite honestly. Thank you for taking all the ridiculous things that I throw at you and anyone here throws at you and just making them lore so beautifully. You notice she perks up immediately and just can't help it. And, looking at anything fun?
Hey there, Cosmo. Nah,
Parker.
just an old cold case.
Hmm.
Kind I'm hoping to heat up, but unfortunately, it's another ice cube in the, I don't know, tundra.
Stop making all these NPCs so goddamn likable. Okay, all of them.
Try
Fucking-
putting it in the microwave?
Oh, God.
A good idea there, River. Let's see what I can do about that.
In the meantime,
But I can't imagine you all came up here to learn about my business. What
not
can I
this
do for
time. We
you?
came to see how the, how your market on the side is holding up, and if we might be able to rifle through some lost and found.
I might have a thing or two. Depends on if you got the bits to spare for it, though.
I do.
Oh, all right. Not coming in here favor for once. Well,
Well, for
What can I
once,
say?
I find myself, a little more,
We're a little flushed
Equitable.
today.
yep, all of the words they just said.
all right.
Speaking of which, though, while you're looking, I was reading my fucking class features. So in typical D&D, right? They'll list them in order of level. So like I didn't have to look past a certain point in the book because you haven't leveled into them yet. And then I realized this book doesn't do that. After a couple of them, it just also starts listing things that just exist in my class regardless of level, but I didn't realize that before because why the fuck would I? Oh my god, I have so many more features than I thought, including this one. I figured this is a perfect place to do it.
Great.
Ear to the ground. When you begin a case file, so in this case, adventure, you learn a number of rumors equal to your wisdom modifier. These
Okay.
rumors can be gained while conducting your background research at the beginning or become relevant during the course of the case file. Either one. I figured since I walked into a PI's office,
Absolutely.
and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll ask him for some tips that have anything to do with either this or other relevant cases, preferencing this, but my wisdom modifier is... I also found out so much other shit I get to do, and I'm very excited. +4. So I have
Okay.
a 4. I get 4 rumors. She'll follow him to wherever he's rifling through things. We are looking for
So-
something of the healing and helping and keeping us alive variety because we are going somewhere but dangerous. I was hoping you might have heard some things about. It's a library down in the quarantine zone.
library.
It's another
Important.
curio shop owner who might be sending people looking for some things.
Yeah, I've heard a thing or two, but I stay out of libraries. They tend to attract cultists, and as far as I'm concerned, cultists aren't something that I have much to deal with.
Am I writing out
heading down-
cultists as a clue?
You can. Sure,
Okay.
go for it.
I get 4. I don't know, like, I don't know.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Count it.
Okay.
Always, yeah. Libraries tend to attract cultists. Always looking for a missing verb or syllable. Something that's gonna, teach them how to click their tongue just a little harder. But
Mm-hmm.
he opens up his he has they're like big filing cabinets, right? Big wide filing cabinets, a little different than the narrow one, and it sort of lays a little flatter, so it's more of a display of things on like a velvet tray.
Nice.
He goes, let me see what we have here for use. He's gonna open up a series of these. The first one has a waistcoat, a vest that is sort of embroidered in very fine, silvery, shimmery matter. It is a mithril vest coat. It is +1 chainmail. So there's that. We got a few different things that have been coming through here, and he opens up another one. It is a short sword, flaming tongue, but that it looks much more like a machete in design and stylings. And those might be a little more expensive. I mean, perhaps out of your price range, but when he kind of looks at Cosmo, it might be worth it, depending on where you're going. If you're headed into the Undercity, you got to be smart, because everything down there is pretty smart. I haven't gone to the Undercity in years, specifically because of the big brains that are down there. There's something elder about them. Something that's been working its own network. Something that's perhaps more mobster than monster. But now, everything's a little more topsy-turvy than it was a few months ago. So there is an elder brain. It is a scheming elder brain, seemingly willing to make deals, potentially willing to make deals with Bale, is what he is
Got it.
hinting and
So
implying.
that's my second clue. Got it.
That's
I
going to be
missed-
2.
yeah.
The existence of the elder
Got it.
brain and its nature disposition. The fact that
Perfect.
it's
That's
making-
fine. Thank you for
a-
running with. Thank you. I appreciate. These are very helpful.
Yep.
We love this
Absolutely.
feature. God, yes.
But even if you don't, even if the brain doesn't get you, you got to watch out for the worms that they've been talking about. Big, spiraling, sort of lamprey worms. They put them down there, they said, to clean out the Undercity. But unfortunately, nobody's been there to, put them back and away. So they just sort of roll through and nibble stuff up. I mean, I guess if you could call a 150-foot tall, 3,000-pound worm a nibbler.
Do we know what kind of worms these are? In character, out of character.
There's a lot of monstrous worms. He's basically
Monstrous worm,
describing.
yeah.
Yeah. It could be a purple worm, could be a frost worm, could be a sandworm. Like, there's lots of them.
There's no D&D worm that's good.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. I just wanted to make sure. We're good.
Like, not even the graboid version is very good. I mean, they were nasty.
They're not.
No.
The movie Tremor is pretty much every worm in D&D ever. Like, that's just
Literally.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
There was one worm. It was the Dune worm, and then we all just made up other variants.
That's how fantasy works,
Yep.
It's steal like an artist, folks.
There you go.
Possibly disguise as your own. So that's 4.
That is 4.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So just to confirm, cultists who are maybe looking for Cthulhu, an elder brain. It's willing to make deals with people like Bale, and there are monstrous worms somewhere. Plural worms.
Yep.
Fuck that. Okay, good. I feel safe. What you got? It might really be worth our while. She says, putting her little notebook back in her. Suddenly, a side pocket and a pen have appeared inside the coat that she picked up, and she's wearing a fedora out of nowhere, talking to him. Fuck, keeps doing that. Tell it to stop.
Sorry, it looks too good on you. I can't do that.
She puts it back on,
up-
you know? A compliment. All right, fine.
He opens up a
You
couple
s-
of other things. So I'm just going to run down the inventory that he has.
Yeah.
A pole of collapsing. It is 50 gold pieces. Can extend out to be a 10-foot pole, and then goes back to being dagger sized. Right. He has 2 potions of healing. He's charging 140 for them because he likes
We
you
will
guys.
take both of those. Let's just say it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A pendant of Speak with Dead. A tankard of sobriety, or we'll call it a flask of sobriety for him, and a I don't really know how to give that a gumshoe spin.
Pitch it.
So I'm
Maybe
just
we
gonna-
can.
Just gonna call it it's a wand of web.
Okay.
Could just be a 1 quick hitter, like 3 bullet revolver if it's a 3 charge thing.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
But a wand of web, that could be actually really helpful. That's a good fucking spell.
Things that are probably in your price range.
Mhm.
Wand of Web is going to be 450. The potions you already know. Oh, there is a potion of climbing that is 100 flat. The collapsing pole is 100 flat. And tankard of sobriety is 20.
Does
I-
it just
Just
sober
tank it
you up? Is that
up.
all it does?
Yep,
Yeah. alright.
sobers you up.
Interesting.
I
I will
see.
take
I
one of the
slyly
potions
slide 20 gold.
and I'll take one of the potions and the pole of collapsing.
Okay. There you go.
I have Speak with the Dead. It is not. I don't think it's necessary. So I don't think it's necessary for us to spend the money on it necessarily. Because
No.
I have it and I can cast it as a ritual. I would like to make sure we buy the other potion. And I'll take it out of mine. And that's fine. And you said there was a potion of invisibility or invisibility was it the other place or here?
Here.
Other.
Or
Other place.
other
place.
places.
Then I'm going to take the potion of climbing for someone just in case we need it. Yeah, I'll pay for both of those. That's fine.
Okay.
Do we want the wand of web?
Yes, 100% yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
I slide 20 bits and take the tankard.
Hey,
That's-
Cody.
Yes.
Would River have an idea of how much it would cost to make her crossbow better? Like a +1 crossbow? Like something you'd put into it?
Yeah, so probably around 600. Less if you find reagents that could assist in the process. So as you're salvaging stuff, we'll keep an eye out for that. But yeah, around 600-700.
Okay. Then I can put in for the wand of web if someone will donate to my cause later.
How much do you need?
I have enough for the wand of web, but depending on what happens later, I want to make my crossbow better. I may need like $100 later.
I'll give you 200 bits off of that. Right here, right now. There you go.
Okay, thank you. So I'll give you 250. So yeah, River will walk up with her 450 and grab the wand of web.
All right. There you go.
Everybody should have 1 potion now at this point, right?
I think so, yeah. And they are
Great.
minor. You said they're minor?
They're the regular,
The regular,
2d4
so 2d4
plus 2.
plus 2. Got it.
Yep.
Cool. Well, you know, if you ever need my help with anything, Parker, if I'm not actively on a mission, and even sometimes if I am, just give me a ring.
Of course.
Hmm.
And he sort of 1,000-yard stares off in the distance.
She waits for the narration to just accidentally start up again.
Yeah, and after a few moments, of course I wanted to tell her I needed her help. I wanted to tell everybody I needed their help. But I just couldn't. Not yet. Not until I knew. Knew what? I wasn't sure. But I knew it was around the corner.
I make a mental note to come back when we're done with the library and check on Parker.
Then he goes off on a tangent about corners.
Oh
So,
god, and we
just like
come
another
on.
shoot.
I
Gotta stop me. I'll do it all night.
know you will, and the noir episode that we are one day going to do, where all of us have to speak like that because we're in his zone of influence for too long.
about
We
it.
better fucking cosplay. Everybody better show up with a fedora on, okay? Oh
Yeah,
man.
All right.
Yeah, oh, Jen was ready. We're gonna have, I feel like, just quick tangent. I feel like, of any game we've ever run, the opportunity to have themed nights, but still as our characters, has never been stronger. Western nights, full fucking cyberpunk where it's nothing else and no fantasy, noir nights, John Hughes movie nights, like, just us dealing with the fucking... Just, I am ready for it. I'm ready, and I think we should have the viewers vote. What area we've wandered into by accident.
Sounds like fun.
I think it would be a blast.
So just to clarify, did we distribute the potions so everyone has one potion, or did some people have two? So we distributed them? Okay.
Everybody should have one. Yeah, it actually worked out that way, and because I rolled randomly for it. You guys got 3 at the first place, 2 at the second place. So total of 5. Everybody has one.
Listen, I was just making sure someone wanted two. I didn't need one. I'm just in the back.
Yeah,
Fine.
you're good. You're good. If you ever run out of points, now you can force feed people.
Drink it.
There you go. I think you guys are good shopping wise.
What did you
Your
need?
mic's too high.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh, it was up there instead of on your...
It was angled up. Yeah, that was my fault.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
What's up?
And I was saying I'm gonna go down at some
And we
point.
couldn't
So
hear
you
got
know,
it. Yeah.
River will always be ready.
yeah.
I think you guys are good on shopping unless you desperately want to find another shop. Okay, cool. So back to the question we had asked a bit ago. Down into the Undercity and then to quarantine, or quarantine and then down?
Which one would we have the knowledge of what type of enemies we would probably run into, up or down?
We know what's
Um,
down.
Say what?
We know what's down, don't we?
You have some rumors and ideas. So
Mhm.
yeah, you may run into Worm. You may run
And
into
Illithids.
Illithids. That's where they live, and that is what Bale has potentially been hunting, depending on the veracity of Parker's rumor.
The library itself, we know we may run into cultists.
Right. And then
But traveling on the surface, we're gonna run into like more of the behemoths that we ran into the last game, right?
virus and infected Baleful.
Then I
So
would rather
thing-
go
things-
Undercity and then,
Okay.
I think. Because those things almost fucking killed us. And, like,
Yeah.
at least if we know what we're preparing for right now, like, if anyone needs to change skills, or not change, like, if anyone needs to, like, prep abilities or whatever, like, this is the time. Like, if we have any specific items we want to go grab that are wands of worm slaying, I don't know, like, just in case.
I would like to use my 18 to find a wand of worm slaying,
specifically, please and thank you. Like that's and for clarity's sake, I have I know technically we've had a couple of days in between missions, but I still feel weird having the same skill override twice. Even 2 missions in a row, even though it's not 2 days in a row. So I am picking as my observational expertise today. It was perception last time. I am picking survival this time. Just for
Sounds good.
full transparency. of what I am proficient with today.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Into the Undercity you descend. I would like all of you to roll me a d20.
$17.
3!
5.
And
Okay. The Undercity is everything that the surface is, only a bit darker and a bit sadder. There are layers to all the cities of Ultensia, layers that are naturally sort of covered up, some that are intentionally covered up, some that are built or shaped out by dreamers of the city, and some that are just phased over. An Aether crosses into the city and suddenly it's a little further down. It is a layer cake of things that have gone by. The initial descent into the Undercity is not terribly different than many other adventures. You open a manhole, you go through a sewer grate, you traipse around where Porthos is at home for a while. There are different cisterns and drainages, and you continue to work your way down through the city works. The city works that doesn't actually have to work, and in many places couldn't or wouldn't, but it doesn't particularly matter because, well, the Aether fixes it. Doesn't need logic. And so at some point, you are opening your next door. A normal, if somewhat heavy door with a bar, sort of a deadlock and kind of a hoopy handle. And it's heavy. It is metal. And the handle is heavy and metal as well. And you give it a pull. It's a little off the hinge and it kind of scrapes along the ground, not in a terribly loud or awful way, but in a just, this is a bitch to move. And as you make your way into the next room, all of sort of the underworks begins to kind of fade away. There are still pipes and tubes and all sorts of things, but they seem to be carrying much more electrical things. They are cinder blocks along the side, gray and or graffitied, and the floor is a white faux marble, this sort of linoleum flat. It is perhaps better than traipsing through the water and the muck a few floors up, or perhaps just a bit awful. Passing through these corridors, it is a bit labyrinthine, and then you step out into a vast open sort of forum, and you can see across the way and look up to what a skylight that now just shows concrete above it, partially shattered, and it is this vast sort of hall. You can look down the length one way, and there are small doors that kind of bounce open and closed. But you notice that this goes down over this open area, about 3 more floors, and they are very large floors. These are sort of floors for perhaps not giants, but definitely ogres or trolls, something large or huge in size, and as you all are making your way to one of the staircases, you walk out onto it. It is different than any real normal staircase would be. It is metal and slitted and sharp, and has sort of these glass walls along the sides that are tall, but perhaps only because here you are small. And as you guys are making your way down, you suddenly feel a lurch in the stairs and this loud sort of and the stairs begin to move underneath you. I would like Pixie, I believe you rolled a 3. I would like you and Porthos to make me dexterity saving throws.
$11.
A 6.
Okay. I would like the rest of you to roll me a d20. We're going to add them up. Even is up, odd is down.
$17.
10.
9.
27 plus 9 for 36. We are going up. Because you guys had not traveled too far up, you feel the and the stairs begin to shift. Two of you can stand on a stair comfortably. Who stepped on these stairs first?
Porthos. And
Okay.
Nora.
Okay. And who stepped on them next?
I was.
Okay.
I would've been
ran
there.
up the rear.
Okay. As Porthos and Cosmo hit the deck, as it were, it's uncomfortable. It doesn't really damage, but these sharp metal stairs whose corners are almost bladed, but not quite. You start to get up. Cosmo, you realize, having stepped on last, you're the closest to the top, and your trench coat, you being on the stairs as they begin to level out, the metal slots of the stairs catch into the grate where the stairs disappear in, and your coat is now pulling you into what is this shredder-like maw. I'd like you to make a strength saving throw.
That is my actual nightmare about escalators. What the fuck is wrong
Yeah,
with you,
same.
Cody? You know this. You know this is my
Is this an
fear.
escalator situation?
This is an escalator
I
situation.
don't like you at all right now. At all, and that is
It's nightmare fuel.
It's actual nightmare fuel. That is a 13.
A 13. Yes, you are able to pull your coat free. It has been chewed. Stop it. Look at me. Camera.
Oh god,
Um,
I was like, what?
It's no, not you. Sorry, hold on.
Look at me.
There, is that better? That's better. Okay, great.
There it is.
It's been your coat has been chewed up. And it is about to the waist, just sort of in shreds. But you're able to pull yourself free. Porthos, you also failed the dex saving throw, and you have a tail. And your tail has sort of caught in the sides of it, and it's starting to pull you down. You're going to take currently 1 point of damage. What would you like to do?
I'm getting my tail out of the thing.
Okay, yeah, make a strength saving throw, or no, make an athletics check.
While he makes that, I have a practical question I didn't want to have to ask, but I'm gonna. My coat was my armor. Do I take an AC hit now?
No,
Okay. thank God.
not for this.
Half of it's
that
gone. That's a
is-
valid question. Like,
Yeah, well, is it your BPRD armor, or was it
it's
just something
the,
you replaced?
the armor, like that I have. Like, yeah,
Okay.
I don't have like special armor from them. It was just my studded leather armor was the coat. Like,
That's fine.
okay,
No, you're good.
cool.
23.
23. Yeah, you yank your tail out of there. It's been sort of mashed and ground a bit at the end. But very soon you guys are stepping off back on the same floor that you started on. As you look around, you begin to see different lights and bits of machinery flicker and flash. It's almost as though the electricity is traveling in this area and occasionally kicks on a sign of a shop or the light overhead or an escalator or that elevator, glass elevator across the way, or then back down.
Can I watch and see if there's a travel pattern? Like if it's in video games, we have to watch the guard's pace and then time your movement. Can I watch and see if there's a pattern that we can try to safely get down again without this happening?
Okay, yeah.
Like, let's run, stop.
Sure. Make a intelligence check.
Okay.
Porthos is just holding his tail, slightly
17.
perturbed.
17. Yes, there is a pattern. It does seem to be a sort of loop. There's actually 3 of them. They kind of intersect. But you can either follow the there's an escalator path you can take to go down that sort of is kicking on in the right direction, or there is the elevator, but the elevator's stop-start nature gives it a bit of a Twilight Zone sort of Tower of Terror.
Never, thank you.
Thing.
She'll point out and say, I think if we go on, everyone keep really close track and then run all the way down as fast as you can, as soon as I say. And I'd like to time out and just go at the pattern.
Yeah, absolutely. What are all of your speeds?
Meg is like, I get all of you down in the amount of time any of you would have run because monk.
25.
I have 25. Yeah. We little.
Yeah. I think I'm at 30.
30.
Okay.
50.
God
Okay.
damn it. Wow.
Norda, you do not need this. For everybody else though, I will need athletics checks as you are running down. Yeah,
I'm strong enough I could carry one of the 2.
Okay, if you want to, sure.
Us flying, yeah.
Yeah,
Not even flying.
not even flying.
Oh,
You're
just in general.
you're just strong.
She's just straight
Yeah.
up strong.
Fair. You
I'll,
said-
So, could I jump my way down to get
This is a-
advantage on this?
This is a long stretch. I don't. You tell me. Do you want to jump from the top of the escalator and land?
Well, no,
on
I mean,
the
not necessarily that far.
Okay, I mean,
It was more
that-
of like a run until it's last second and then jump kind of thing. I was just seeing if I could
How
fix it.
tall is River?
5 feet, I
God,
think.
yeah, if that. I think I might even said it was shorter.
For
I think I said it was yeah, somewhere
I'm
in
going
there.
to carry Porthos. I
Porthos
got
is
a
good.
nat 20 on my roll.
Oh, you take River. I rolled an 18 on my athletics. I'm
Okay.
a strong
Okay.
boy.
Okay,
got an
I'll
11.
scoop up River and carry her.
And I'd be like, no, take River. I'm fine. The stairs have gotten me once, but they won't get me again.
You are being bridal carried down the escalator.
Oh my!
There you go.
There's the reason for the love potion. It makes sense now. Okay.
Cosmo, what
15.
did you? You're good. Everybody's good. You guys make your way down. You do that a couple of more times. You've got it all kind of set. The stairs of metal chewing do not chew you these days. And I'd like all of you to make a perception check.
Audio?
Visual.
15.
8.
Natural 20 on dice I made!
17.
On my Cosmo dice! So natural 20 for a 24.
I've got a face full of red panda. I can't see much. I
Okay.
gotta sneeze.
You got the best view in the house, so
Yeah, you do.
yeah. So 22 was the goal. And I believe it's just Cosmo. Yeah. Cosmo, you're getting off the last escalator, and you're kind of looking back up, watching the electricity run. and you see this person. Looks like a man. He has a hood up. The hood is kind of a jacket as well, and a little taller, very dark. You can't really see his features. You can see his nose and mouth, but either he doesn't have eyes or you can't see the eyes. And he's looking in your direction, but the escalator he's riding is going away. It's traveling towards his back. He's going up. And you look at him, and it kind of has a moment where you think he's looking at you, and you pause for a moment, and then he hits the top of the escalator, and he steps off backwards and turns around.
Did it look like he was coming from anywhere in particular, or did I just see him riding up?
I'm sorry, you cut out there at the end.
Did it look like he was coming from somewhere, or did I just see him riding up with no other context?
You only saw him
Okay.
riding up. The line of sight on a lot of these places isn't great,
Mhm.
and you were very focused on getting down.
Yes.
You guys hadn't seen him before this.
Mhm.
So if you'd like to point him out, other people can see him as well. You do not have to.
She's going to not point him out, but definitely she's going to continue to take up the rear.
Okay.
And she is going to just every now and then check and see if they're being followed.
Okay.
Cool. As a note, because again, things that I didn't realize I could do. While I am conscious, I cannot be surprised. Just
Cool.
should that be an issue. Again, they organized this book. It's a great class. I love it very much. I need a different organization because I missed so much those first 2 weeks that I didn't know I could do yet because I thought they were future level things. They're not. They're just cool shit. I'm more useful than I thought I was going to be. Ready to go.
Well, that's good. Always happy to find that.
I'm the atmosphere person of like, I'm gonna check things. I can't be surprised. I'll know clues. You guys go kill shit. I will know things about the shit we're killing. I'll just shout hints to you like, hey, this is what this shit does. I have a book.
Are we still heading towards the library?
You are.
Okay, just making
Yep.
sure.
You make
Like
it
I-
down the web of escalators. You make it out of this main sort of descent, out onto an open street where the sky above is just the ground that you had been previously walking on, mostly concrete. You can see different parts of dirt, and some of the buildings grow into it. Others sort of terminate before it. But the street is large. It is wide, and many of the things here have been long since abandoned, destroyed. But there is some graffiti. There's a lot of graffiti, actually. And just as you guys are making your way down, there is one large sign that you can see. It's like dead in front of you. It was a billboard size. Somebody took it off of a roof and like put it at the end of this street. It was advertising teeth whitening. And over the ooze gel people that are showing off their chompers is bubble letter spray painted, graffitied out, Graveyard of the Machines.
Well, given what we dealt with last time we ventured anywhere, just referring to the Gatling wagon, everyone just tread lightly.
So I walk in slamming my shield with my sword. I'm just
Sounds about right.
Exactly.
doing my whole haka all the way through there. Asu!
Everyone fucking chill. Like,
Porthos will lead if Nordra's with him as well.
Okay.
once again, I'm just gonna keep up the rear and bring up the rear and continue. Also, like, because again, ranged. I have no problem always just taking up the back. Like, I'm good. But
I
she
will-
will keep looking over her shoulder.
I will behind me go like we're supposed to go through this to get to the library, right?
As far as we know.
Okay. Just want to make sure before we go into the creepy graveyard. Alright, here we go.
Would I happen to like smell anything that was similar to the machine gun guy while we're going down through here?
Make a perception check. Absolutely, yeah. If you have a sense of smell, you want to use advantage
Nice.
on, go for it.
I sweetly do, sir. Well, 21.
21. There's a faint difference, but nothing that feels active, present, or immediate. You get the feeling that similar creatures may have been through here within the last 2 weeks, but
Okay.
nothing that's present now, and not the way you had smelled it or experienced it a couple of days ago.
Okay.
So. On you guys travel. Go ahead.
Nothing.
On you guys travel, making your way through these streets. Your eyes, mouths, noses, ears, all of it open, alert. Heads on swivels and such. As you guys are making your way, I would like somebody in the front to make me a survival check to navigate the directions you guys had received.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are fucking joking. So it's a nat 1.
Okay.
Plus 7, though. So, an
Okay.
8.
Okay. You're following the signs through the roads and seemingly doing pretty well. And like you know the library is close. It really can't be far. You sort of turn down this street, and it looks like there's a little courtyard and all of these sort of outdoor dining chairs and cabana-like setup is there. And as you're kind of making your way down, you just get this odd feeling, and you look into one of the shops nearby, and you're not sure if it's a tavern that was, well, far more from a world like yours, or if it was some sort of tourist trap destination that just designed itself to look like such. But in there you see movement and bedraggled faces that sort of slump down and off of the skin, and you can see the little drips of the baleful ooze that
Can
And
I
then-
notice her looking at this point?
I'm gonna move his head to, like, yeah.
Yeah, you see Porthos's head move. You all sort of look over there, and then the white eyes shine in the dark, at least a dozen of these things, and they all begin rushing towards you. We're going to do initiative, and you guys can go first.
May I make a request based on monster hunting last time? Can we please not choose every single turn who's going in what order? That was the most stressful fight I've ever had in my goddamn life. Can we just, like, pick an
Okay.
order and stick with it? Like,
Sure.
that was so stressful.
Okay.
Okay. I don't care who goes first and last and when, just, like, let's keep it in that order then.
I got
I
it.
prefer a static order
Please,
too.
God. Like,
Okay. At some point, we are going to get you guys the cards.
yeah, like,
to,
rolling or flipping every turn, don't mind, but deciding, it was so stressful. Like,
Okay.
Well, do we roll initiative? I could just take it
Sure,
down. if
roll
you want,
initiative. Sounds good.
that was cocked as fuck.
Oh,
Alright, that's fine.
so I got a 9. I forgot you add stuff to initiative.
17.
24.
Oh, obviously. No, we just know Meg's going first. That's not a question.
15.
Okay. So
Okay,
it is-
goes Meg,
and then
Pixie,
me. Yeah.
Pixie, Jen, and then me, then River,
Okay.
Echo.
Sounds good. Norda, you're up.
Yeah. So but I can't do anything. I can do it. Aha. So I'm going to run up to the closest dude.
Yeah.
And slash with my new sword.
Okay. Sounds good.
So I get 2 of those. Oh. Oh. Does a 16 hit?
It does. Yeah.
Okay. So that'll hit, and then the unnatural 20 will hit as well. Let's... One-handed is fine. So that's 9 points of magical slashing,
Okay.
and 7 points. And then as bonus action, she's going to... From what you guys have, I must assume we did a lot of walk and talk. Do they seem to be particularly vulnerable to any type of event or resistant? Do you guys know?
Based
It
on the
doesn't-
Bale last time, no, because even the radiant damage on the one we fought, even the radiant damage didn't do extra damage; it just did damage. So as far as
Okay.
we could tell, it wasn't resistant or immune to any specific type when we fought that last one.
Okay. She's gonna move into the Cone of the Gale.
Okay.
So that'll do stuff for the next turn.
Awesome. I believe Cosmo's up next.
Okay, I am going to. She's just gonna whip out her gun.
Okay.
And I am going to attempt to take a shot. As a note, I have the rolling stats on one page and the actual revolver stats on the other. And on the third page, I have that on the first round of combat, I can take an additional action. So I'm gonna.
Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. And I treat all damage from successful attacks as exploding. By the way.
Okay.
That means if I max out the die, I roll an extra one. Correct?
Yeah.
Exploding dice. Yeah. Good. So
Yep.
that's if I roll the highest on that die. Cool. So
Sounds good.
I am going to roll my revolver. Please and thank you. So that is a 16 to hit.
Yeah. 16
Cool.
hits.
Excellent. So that's 2d10, and then I will take my other shot in a moment. 2d10. That is... Oh, I did get a 10 on one of them. So that is 5, 10... so 5 plus 10, sorry. So 15 plus 8.
23.
23 points of bludgeoning damage for that.
Okay.
And then I am going to, for my attack at present, I already get 2 shots. So I'm going to take my other shot.
Okay.
That is a 21 to hit. Yes, that's going to hit.
Mhm.
Good, amazing, fantastic. And that is just 10 flat points.
Okay.
Same
Target.
Same target. Yeah. How did I knock one out?
Yeah. With the
Amazing.
second
Perfect.
pull of the trigger, the first shot that had sort of hollowed out the rib cage in the chest, the next one sort of blows out the shoulders and head, sort of
Fantastic.
tumbles down to the ground.
Fantastic.
It seems to be more skeleton or mummy than
Okay.
Than zombie.
Cool. I am going to then use my second action of the turn to make another shot. One more shot. Because
Okay.
or my extra action. I get to do an extra action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a 14 to hit. Does that hit?
It does,
Okay,
just
good.
barely.
Okay, good to know. Great, amazing. A 14 to hit, and that is 9, 10, 11 points of damage.
Okay.
Bonus action, I'm going to use a bonus action to add, it's focused approach. Use a bonus action to add 1d6 to an attack's damage for each successful attack against a nominated target. Since that was the only one left alive, that's only 1d6. On my turn after this, I can expend a bonus action to move this focus to another target.
Got it.
And then I have a certain number of uses of it every day, and or when I take rests, which is good to know. It's not never ending. So that is 3 extra points of damage.
Got it.
And I'm done.
All right.
I knew my shit!
Jen.
Okay, so I am spending my action this turn to shift. And this time, since cold and fire didn't seem to make a difference before, I'm going to try out my lightning form. So Hilda shifts and grows from this pure white little 5'6" fox into a 6 foot tall fox covered in black lines up and down her arms. Huge gray wings pop out. Like this blackish helmet comes across the top of her head. And now she's got little bits of like lightning cackling around because she's shifted. And then because it's a bonus action, let's see if I can just frighten these things.
Okay.
So anything, once they're within 30 feet of me, I'll trigger the bonus action. And they have to make a saving throw against... They have to make a... Wisdom saving throw against my save DC, which is just my spell DC. Just a second. Why is that not listed? Hang on. It's
What's your spellcasting modifier?
3.
And your proficiency bonus is 3 currently?
3. Yeah, so it's
So
14.
it's a 14.
Yeah.
So 2 of them save. The other 7 seem to be frightened of you. So they have disadvantage while they are in view of you.
And I get extra damage if I attack those ones that are scared.
There you go. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I can do on my turn when I shift.
Sounds good. Porthos.
There is 9 of them in front of me, right?
Yes.
So Porthos takes a few steps forward and goes, "It's been a really long time since I've gotten to ride this bike." And he snatches at his belt buckle. He uses his bonus action and he yells out, "It's morphin' time." And he suddenly has a shimmer that wraps around him, and you see a helmet drop down in front of him. He'll gain a +1 to his AC, and he then lurches forward to put himself in between everybody and wherever they're running in at, and he's just going to make an attack at anything that's around him at the moment.
Okay. Come diving in. Go for it.
$18 to hit on the first one,
Yep.
and a 12 on the second.
12 misses.
That is 11 points of slashing damage to the one that I hit.
Okay.
That is the end of
Nice.
Porthos' turn. And he is standing in front of you glowing, and you can see there's like almost like a carry-on effect now, where that energy that's wrapped around him, and you can see where there's like a rat's head every once in a while, and then there's like little worms that seem to just wrap around him at the same time.
All right. River.
Great. To be clear, did we kill any of these yet?
1.
Just one?
Yes.
Okay. And was this was these kinds of monsters the one that were resistant to fire in the first fight we did?
No, they don't
Okay,
seem
okay.
to have any resistances.
Okay. I was just curious. Are they relatively close to me? at this point?
Within, yeah, you can move and be in melee with them if you want.
Okay. I would like to be relatively within melee to kind of encompass as many as possible. It doesn't tell me a range.
Okay.
For the spell, it's Starburst.
Okay.
And it just says, I send out blinding light from your focus. All creatures you wish in range must make a Constitution or Vigor saving throw or suffer damage. But I
Okay.
cannot find a range. All I know
got
is I
you.
can add an additional 5 feet.
That sounds good. Let me see if I can find that for you in a bit. But let's get some Constitution saving throw.
Yes.
Got it. So con save on my Screever boys. Screevers. +3. So that is going to be, what's your DC?
15.
15. So one is going to succeed with a 16. The other one is going to succeed with a natural 20. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them rolled a natural 1, and the others rolled in the middle. So 2
Okay.
succeed.
Okay, so I need 3d6 plus my vigor. If they succeed, they take half.
Okay, sounds good.
So, wow, this is such a great spell. Plus,
What spell are you casting?
Starburst.
Ah. You're good.
Okay, I thought I messed up.
No, you're good. Keep going.
That's just 9 damage. Nothing fancy.
9
That's
damage.
yeah.
Okay.
And
the one-
oh, sorry. If they fail, they're also blinded until the beginning of my next turn.
Absolutely. Oh, these are undead, so they did have disadvantage. So we're gonna re-roll the 2 that succeeded. The natural 20 stayed a natural 20. The 13 went up. It was a 14. They actually did save. Good for them.
Good for you guys.
That 20 was destined, man. It was not going anywhere. So it is fire damage, disadvantage. They're blinded. Sounds good. So the one that Norda had started on and the one that Porthos hit, both are dead as they shatter into the fire, and all of these others are taking damage.
In the spirit of full transparency, would you please bring one of them back to life? Because some of the features that I thought I had are actually level progression ones. The other ones are not. So I'm double checking, and I did too much damage because I wasn't supposed to explode. So I'm trying to give you back the.
We're okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna.
just-
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Thank you for the transparency.
Yeah.
I appreciate
We're
it.
learning new classes, but I don't want it to like be a thing where it's like, hey, I accidentally did way too much damage, and I'm just gonna keep quiet about it. Like, no,
Yeah, no.
I fucked up.
Please,
Like,
yeah, please tell me. I
Yeah,
appreciate
gotcha.
it, but
Cool.
we're good on this. So, the Screevers let out this terrifying sort of noise, and they begin clawing and leaping at all of you as you're all in melee, except for Cosmo, right? Cosmo's not. So
haven't
Cosmo,
moved all the way at the back.
you're good. They're focusing on the 4 people that are in melee with them. So the first thing I need you all to do is make strength saving throws.
Scary.
21.
Dirty 20.
Good.
12.
Okay.
21.
Nice. So unfortunately, it's a 14 DC. Norda, you are knocked prone, and then they are going to make attack rolls against you guys. So let's see. There's 4 of you and 7 of them. So let's just do 2 for everybody, and I'll figure out what to do with that last thing.
I want that last one. Give me that one.
You want that last one? Okay, that sounds good.
Uh,
It's actually one person gets 1 less, so that'll be River.
the one that's attacking Norda on the ground is gonna have imposed disadvantage.
Okay, so it's going to be a flat roll for them.
Yes.
So the first roll is a 4, and the second roll is a 3. nicely done. They does nothing. Yeah. It's,
I can
there we
still
go.
block down here.
Yep. Over to Hilda. They make the first one is a modified 20. Second one is a mod 18.
They both hit regardless.
Okay, great. So that is 14 points of claw damage. The claw, as they come just sort of leaping in and kind of tearing in. You notice that their fingers sharpen as they get closer. 2 attacks on Porthos. Natural 14 for a mod 20. Natural 18 for a 24.
Both will hit.
Both will hit. 14 points of damage total. Bludgeoning it and slashing as the claws come diving in. 1 attack on River. That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
7 points of damage.
Also, are any of these blinded? By the way,
Yeah, they are blinded, so we can reroll all of that.
Disadvantage.
I'm sorry. I didn't even think about it.
Yep. So River, that's going to be miss. Porthos, 16 is not going to hit, but the 25 will still hit.
I'll just
Jen, Hilda, 17. So 7 points. You get 7 points back. 17 hits.
17 hits.
Okay, and the other one is 25. So all 4 rolls hit you, and that's it. There we go.
Thank you,
Over
sorry.
to no, you're good. Over to Norda.
Okay, so she's gonna use half of her movement to get up
Okay.
and still have 25 feet. And if I gotta move, I just want to say it because I can. And I'm gonna, the thing that put me down, I'm gonna put it down.
Okay.
But we're going unarmed now.
Okay.
So, come on. Q. 12 doesn't hit.
Nope. 14 is what we're looking for.
Okay. So the 15 will hit. We'll flurry of blows.
All right.
So close. That'll hit. And so 3 hit. So that's 8, 10, 18, 7. So 25
25.
points, 25 bludgeoning, and then
One of them is on the first 2 strikes. Had 16 hit points. That one is knocked out, and then the other points we're going to shift to another Screaver because they're all around you, sort of clawing and ripping. And then
not great. 18 electric or lightning
okay.
as the cone of the gale. Is it cone or koan?
So Kuan is
Kuan.
Kuan is a Japanese, not Japanese, Chinese Buddhist term, I believe. It is a
Question?
mystery. It is a
It's a
mystery or a
mystery.
question.
Yeah.
It is a philosophical question that, in theory, has no answer.
Right, because what is... Hold on, I have... The Lunar Kiss class is so fucking beautiful, you guys. I can't even tell you. Like, it's stupid overpowered.
It's a Cody
the way
Stone
Cody
class.
wrote it,
Yeah,
the way he wrote it is genuinely just fucking beautiful.
it is.
But the Kawan of the Gale is how does one hold a hurricane? So the like little motes of air start swirling around her, and her fists, as they move through the air, gallop storm and lightning and just transfer it with her hits. And you can see sort of she has some stuff on her, like underneath her clothes. You can see something is starting to, it glows a little faintly as she does. And I think that's quite enough for me for now.
That is enough. So that was another Screaver down and screaming through the lightning and the winds that steal away its voice. Over to Cosmo.
gonna hit normally this time. I get 2 shots as normal, and that first one is a 14 to hit. I'm just gonna do the damage all at once. First one's a 14 to hit.
Hits.
Second one is not gonna hit. So
Cool.
I am just going to do the 2d10 and no explosions, and then I'm gonna do my d6 bonus action for 1 successful hit.
Okay.
So that is a 3 and a 2. 5. See, I'm making up for last time. 5 points of damage plus 3 points of damage. So that is 8 points of shoot.
Okay.
That's it.
8 points. Yeah,
turn.
that one is barely holding on. Over to Jen. Hilda.
Hilda is going to pull out her first dagger and stab
Okay.
one of the ones that's frightened of her.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are clawing blind and terrified. So it's just flailing around out in the open.
$19.
Hits.
That is 6 points of regular damage and 9 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Yeah, you watch as you touch sort of that collective consciousness, it sort of spikes through its brain. Yeah, that one is out. Okay, sounds good. Porthos.
Porthos looks over and sees the one that struck River, and there's just that unbridled rage for a brief moment. So Porthos is going to throw his shield onto his back, disregard the one that is currently attacking him, and is going to jive headfirst into that one.
Go for it.
Here we go. That's an 18 to hit,
Does.
and that is a 19.
9. Yep, go for it.
$24 points of damage.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that the one that was barely holding on, and another. Both of them are out. 2 remain. That's it, Porthos.
That's it. Porthos looks at River and just goes like, "Nobody touches you."
All right, River, you're up.
Alrighty. I do believe everyone's taken a little bit of something, right?
A
Everyone
lot of people
except
have
me.
taken a little
Oh,
bit.
never mind. Just the other 2. No, I'm good, and Norda's good. It's Hilda and Porthos, and you.
Alright. Well, I didn't actually get hit because he was blind.
Yep.
So appreciate it, Porthos. So I guess I will. Can I gauge how bad Porthos is, or ask him to see how bad he was? I don't remember how much he
He's
got hit
not
for.
that
I'm
bad.
pretty good. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess
I will-
I'll take.
Hilda got hit the hardest.
My tail looks worse than anything else.
Your poor tail. I guess then can I? I'm just gonna take out my crossbow and shoot the one that was originally attacking Porthos.
Okay, go for it.
Not 20.
Okay. I'm gonna say you probably stepped away from the one, any that might have been in melee with you. Flat roll, nat 20.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll the critical on it. Absolutely,
As far as I'm aware, he killed the only one that was attacking me.
Yes.
absolutely.
I do believe
Yep,
so.
you're good.
Okay, so just 2d8s.
Yeah,
14.
nice. 14 is enough to drop. There's only one Screever remaining, and is that it, River?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my bonus action to gain some stuff.
Okay, recover some points. Got it. The last remaining Screever sort of and is going to dive at Porthos and make its attack there. That is a modified 20 to hit. but it is blind, and that's a modified 18 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay.
It would ricochet off of because I'm morphed right now. It gave me that +1.
There
so
it is.
Kind of dings.
It's no longer blind as of my turn.
Okay.
Oh,
so
no,
mod
so it's not
20.
disadvantaged. Mod 20 will hit.
So 7 points of damage. Norda, you're up.
I go punch the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kick it.
And they kick him, sir. 26 will hit.
Yes.
12 will not. Let me. So that's 10 bludgeoning
Okay.
and 7 electric.
With that, that is showtime.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just gonna zip over to Porthos. Just thumb in the eye.
Absolutely. The thumb goes piercing into the squishy jelly-like eye. The silvery white ooze thinks about wrapping around you, and then you feel a heartbeat, and it sort of pulls back, and then the explosion of electricity through the brain sort of, and it pops. You all get everyone except for Cosmo gets the Dragon Age treatment.
Okay.
And you look about now, carefully and cautious about the effects of the baleful ooze, but this is all sort of scattering to ash, the way you had seen in the final moment of that whirlwind previously. You can kind of piece together that these are the weakest sort of form of baleful infestation, where they're picking up corpses, and so they're already on their last leg. The stronger the creature, the more bale it required, and so the more likely it is to hold its form afterwards. So as you guys sort of piece that together, would you like to press on or take some sort of rest?
I take a quick short rest.
A rest would be nice. I took some damage and I'm about to lose, so.
I was gonna say, if anyone needs heals, I can give some people heals if people wanted to move on, because I don't mind using up some points on that.
I'm good with a short rest.
Do we feel like it's safe to take a
Short
short
rest is
rest
good.
in the area, given the veil, given the nearness of it? Though the hosts are currently disintegrating, do we think that it is too much of a risk to stay in the area?
These hosts are not gonna pop up. If there was anything within eye or earshot, probably would have shown up by now.
Okay.
But you also don't know what's around, as you kind of stumbled into these guys. So you think
how close is that glass elevator?
Oh no, you
Okay.
left that.
Okay.
Weren't they at like some kind of tiki bar? Or is there some way we could barricade up there that would be safe?
Sure, you can do that.
Let's go in there.
You guys take some time and begin barricading things up. You settle in for your rest. Is there anything special you guys would like to do over this hour?
I use 2 hit dice to recover health.
I'm keeping watch for.
Okay.
I'm using hit dice to recover as well.
I'm reloading my gun because I took
Hilda,
4 of the
Matt,
7
how are you?
shots.
I drop the more formed, by the way.
Mine wears off after a minute, so the wings fade. I just shift down in size.
I walk over to Norja and I say, "This is what you brought me, by the way."
It was amazing. And she like holds a hand out to shake his hand.
He shakes it. He goes, "This is a symbol of power, and is you have to be chosen from where I'm from to have one of these."
It shows well. It looks good on you. You do the whole thing. It's very impressive.
Yes. Yes, I do look good in it, don't I?
Are you okay?
It doesn't make me humble, though. I don't know why.
Eh.
I'm good. That felt good. It felt like a lost memory that was returned to me.
She just kind of like keeps her hand like, and then pulls him in and rests her forehead on his for a minute, and then goes back to watching.
Indeed.
I would like to spend the short rest also helping keep watch, but outside with my ghost box, because I'd like to be scanning the area for spirits to see if there is possibly anything else trying to reanimate during that hour.
Okay.
So that there's, because I get an advantage on checking for like spirits nearby, and I figure the first step to, I don't know, I'm just checking. I'm double
Sure.
checking. Lots of people died here. You know, there was
Absolutely.
a collection of corpses available. There may be angry ghosts.
Perception checks. I guess that's how the ghost box works. But Norda, you are just watching like normal, so perception check from you, please.
I'd be sitting with Norda as well since
Okay.
they don't need to be.
Yeah, go for it.
17.
17 as well.
Mine's gonna be better. 21.
Okay. As you guys are keeping watch, it's about midway through. You do notice there is some movement, not on this sort of alley street, but out on the main street that you guys have been traveling before turning down this like courtyard area. And out there, you kind of keep an eye out. No ghost activity. There is a low level of like ghostly murmur, but nothing that is manifesting or strong enough or angry enough to be something like that. But the other two of you do see it's a small group of people in sort of tattered streetwear gear, and they have these odd this very particular kind of symbol, both in a necklace, like a pendant, and some of them have it like on their painted on their pants, on the shoulder, on the back, like on the chest of their shirt. It's kind of post-apocalyptic, kind of punk rock kind of mix. They're moving with purpose. They don't seem to, they're not being quiet. They're sort of talking amongst themselves. They just are walking out in the open. They really don't seem to have any fear of screevers or anything along those lines. But they also don't look like anything baleful that you've run into yet.
Okay. And not, they're not illithids either, like they're human.
They are not illithids. They are humanoid. They seem human. One of them is definitely a dwarf. The others are variant of human, elf, or half elf. All sort of in that 5'8" to 5'11" range.
Sure.
So perhaps the cultists that we
Yeah, I
were
was gonna say,
heard
am I getting
about.
cultist vibes from this?
Yeah, you new age cultists for sure, probably.
Are they moving towards where we're moving towards?
Looks like they had come from that direction.
They're leaving the library.
That you would reach that conclusion, yes.
Okay.
At the very least, they are
am-
not heading towards it now.
Okay, I'm gonna take find a small bit of debris, like a pebble or something, and lightly chuck it over at Cosmo, and then nod my head towards the.
You absolutely see them.
She sees and acknowledges them, and after having checked the ghost, she doesn't make any sudden movements or anything like that. She just makes sure to stay like propped up against the wall of their building instead of like moving further down any street, like just to not draw attention to us.
With the obstructions that you guys have put up to kind of barricade yourselves in from potential screevers, you obscure a lot of the view. There's not a lot of light in this tiki bar area, so you are hard to see. And they kind of look in your direction briefly, but not with any purpose, and not as though they're looking at you or for you. They're just sort of looking around, and eventually they scan past you.
Say they
But-
had a symbol on their jackets.
Yes.
Okay. Can I try and draw that so when we get into the library, everyone can see what maybe kinds of books might be of note to them?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a it's an eye. The styling of it, it starts very large, and then within the iris is always drawn another eye in sort of an infinite descent. It's like one of those sort of things.
Would I have, given the religious background of my parent organization, would I recognize that? Would I recognize that specific cult or group?
Make a
Religion check, I'm
religion
guessing?
check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, that's a thing I'm
So-
already proficient.
So it just goes on and on into infinity.
God damn it. I was gonna make that joke and then I didn't and I'm mad. 21.
Absolutely.
21 on religion.
21. Okay. Yes. So they are known as the Peerless Gaze, or the cult of the Peerless Gaze. They do not believe they are a cult, but they believe that there is there's a magic in eyes and camera focus. There's a magic in camera focus as well.
Hence
we're
the
gonna
eye
try
within
that
the eye
again.
within the eye within the eye.
The eye
which is
within
Take
the
their
eye.
name.
There it is. So there's a magic in eyes, and part of their belief is that there is an all-seeing one somewhere that has seen everything, will see everything, allows you to know everything and see the future at the same time. That is to whom they cultify and make sacrifices and pray. One of the odd behaviors, they harvest and salvage eyes of living and dead things. They have been known to graft them, some of them, onto body parts or onto weapons, and keep them. They have a love-hate relationship with beholders because they have many eyes and their eyes have many powers, and so they find them blessed by the Peerless Eye, but the beholders can't imagine anything better or stronger than they are. So it's a little bit of a mix there.
They're in for a
with
shock when the
those.
Peerless Eye is just a one-eyed beholder. It's just...
So yep, with a 21, that is what you know.
Okay, cool, excellent. Do I... And you just said that was what I know, but bonus round. Do I know, because you said they graft from even living things, dangerous to us?
Yeah,
Good,
they
thank
would
you.
be.
That's all I wanted to know. Just making sure. I was like, do I know if they're like chill about it, or if they are like, eyes, get them? Like,
So yeah, this you can know. They really like eye. They'll fight for eyes, to take eyes that they think have seen something of interest, use, or
suddenly
or
hyper aware of
horror.
mine and Norda's eyes, because mine glow and hers are just black pupilless terrors. I suggest maybe we wear sunglasses. Like,
They can try. They can absolutely try.
go for
Are
the
you guys-
eyes, boo.
Are you guys saying this out loud?
I wait till you guys are done with the rest to fill in, so you guys can focus on chill, relax. But as we gather back up, she's been spending time double checking her notes, anything she might have, paper, like whatever, and drawing the eye and like making sure that she's got all the notes written down properly, and drawing several copies of that eye. And she does finally, once you guys are ready to go, she passes out these little tiny little pieces of paper with the eye drawn on them. As Parker did say that they tended to frequent the library looking for a book. trying to read it. There's a chance, as we search, if we have to divide up, that we may run into them. If you see a book or a stack or a shelf even with this symbol on it, be aware they may be around. And she explains everything she knows about them, just like as a warning. That's what I've got.
So set it on fire is what you're saying.
Please
Destroy
don't.
the
Oh
book.
my god, I would rather. No.
The book with the eye on it isn't a
Please
good
don't-
thing or a bad thing.
Don't set. We don't know, but please don't be setting books on fire. I can take that back to the. We've got vaults for that sort of shit. But
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna,
Just
I'm
wanted
gonna
to make sure.
heavily dissuade book burning. Please and thank you. And you see her just as calmly agitated as you've ever seen. This isn't rage. This isn't like, I will kill you. This is pure anxiety about the idea of losing any potential. She heard rumors of the Library of Alexandria, like from another world, and then the Doctor Who library that was Silence in the, and like all these, and they all torture her in her very soul. The idea of losing that many stories and all these things hurts her, and she's like, please, God, please don't.
Not the whole library, just the one
Even
book.
one,
But if
no.
you don't want to destroy the book,
Even
that's
one,
fine. That's
no.
fine. I just don't want them calling upon some weird one-eyed
Well, if they're
monster
still
coming.
trying to learn to read the book, I doubt that this will be the day they suddenly figure it out. Maybe just take
Oh.
it from them. Don't open it. Don't read it.
So you're saying
take it.
we smash and grab is what we're doing here.
If it's one of those things that we happen to be able to find while we're there searching for whatever the fuck he wanted us to find. What did he want us to find?
So if we find a wall, we hit it harder.
Sure.
That was
He gave
for
us a
Cody.
list
That was
of
for Cody.
books.
That wasn't for anybody
Yes,
else.
he did give us a list of books. Thank you. Was that on his list? Cody? Was that
List of books.
on Seraphin's list? Safarian's list?
No.
Okay.
No,
I was like,
no,
alright.
nothing on his list has a wide variety of names. Some of the languages you don't quite understand. They are a lot of research books. They are a lot of theory books. There doesn't seem to be a lot of histories to them, but that seems to be more in magical theory and crafting. Seems to be what the majority of what he is asking for. Yeah, and it's a pretty good stack of books. You guys vacate from your tiki bar and you continue traveling towards the library, and it is
Porthos.
within
Drinking the
Aisha.
tankard as I come out, just so you know, because Porthos found wherever the last remaining alcohol was in there while he was on his
He
long rest.
made a rum and cola while we were in there. He's just like with an umbrella and like.
I was taking a short rest. I took a real short rest. I handed one to
He was
Hilda.
resting.
I don't understand the use of the flat cola. It just tastes horrible, but he seems to like it with the rum.
The more disgusting, the better. But anyway, sobering myself back up as we're walking out. I'm using this tankard all the time now.
Do you use?
go.
I like to think that like for mimosas, you use the orange juice that has already started to ferment because it's gone bad. Like it's just alcoholic itself.
And pure pulp.
There
Pure
you go, yep.
pulp.
Ugh.
Excellent. You know, I've got a realm for you that opens up here every now and then where there's monsters that scare children. I feel like your senses and tastes would just go really well with everything they enjoy.
Where did you think I came from? I'm just kidding. I didn't come from there.
Monsters University!
You are approaching the library. There are a series of steps, regular stone steps, that lead up to the grand front doors. Inside it is lit. I would like all of you to make perception checks.
Of what variety?
19.
Visual. Thank you.
19.
10.
13.
Legolas, what do your elven eyes see?
21.
Damn.
Hilda, you are the one that notices there are out front some statues of lions. There's like a big eagle over the door. you notice that the eyes in the statues have been replaced with living eyes, and they have their own sort of eyelid, and that's what you see blinking. You notice this before you guys have made your way into the library, so you have this sort of moment in which you can kind of play it off and not go directly in and be seen by these sensory eyes. You don't know if they're connected to the cultists in some way, or if they would just alert them to something when they returned.
I swear to God, if anyone sees an angel, kill it! Just break that statue immediately and don't blink.
Well,
Don't burn books, kill
these
angels,
move
okay.
even when you're looking. Those eyes move, so not that sort of thing.
So we should just keep walking past the entrance here a little bit. Let's go around the corner. The statue's eyes have all been replaced.
Well, this is a cultist of
They-
that think that the eyes
They're
can
blinking
see.
at me, and I don't like it.
Oh, they're blinking.
I hate everything you just said.
So do I.
How far are the statues from the entrance to the library?
They're probably within 30 feet.
Are the statues?
Okay.
Oh, this is the
Yeah,
wrong
20
question
feet.
for Porthos. Porthos isn't asking this question.
So the statues have it, and I think that the eagle over the door did too. It didn't look like, the stone eyes. It was something living about it, as opposed to
Are
like.
there? Does there see like windows or something on the opposite side that the eyes aren't?
Yeah, as you guys sort of walk past, and as you had been approaching, there are many windows to this library along the sides. There's multiple floors. You can see the light sort of coming out of those. There are definitely other entrances, window and door, than this front entrance.
How are you
Can
with
I-
climbing?
I can climb.
Yeah, both of us are very good climbers.
I will go open a window and let you all in. Yes?
Sure, go for it.
And I'm going to step into the shadows.
Okay.
So Norda just disappears.
How does she
And
do
then
that?
Bamf's inside, like, bypasses the sentries
Mm-hmm.
and goes into the library. They don't have line of sight on me. I don't have line of sight on them.
Okay. Sounds good. Roll me a D100.
Rude, but okay. D100s. 83.
Cool. You pop out. You feel good.
Feel good.
Norda opens a window for you, and you all are able to make your way inside. Now, having been alerted to this trick, you can see and notice there are, at some of the reading stations, looks like the cultists have propped up different. One is like a hockey stick with some eyes at the end of it, leaning over the table so that it reads the book. They have left a few of these things sort of in and about. They are pretty easy to avoid, but perhaps wouldn't have been had you not realized what they were ahead of time.
I, just in case, because if there's any of the books that we have to actively try and read, that they are reading or that we want to try to grab, flag me down and I will try to get it. And she touches herself and casts non-detection. Can last for 8 hours. The target can be a willing creature or a place. That's me. The target cannot be targeted by any divination magic or perceived through magical scrying sensors. So these will not be able to see me in theory. So if I have to take one of the book, I can't cast it on the entire group. I don't think. It's one of my spells that I have that you gave me through the knowledge cleric path. So I'm assuming, since I don't have like normal spell slots, I'm assuming it's once per. If I can cast
Yes.
it more, okay, yeah. So I can just cast it once. So I did. If there happens to be any book that we have to grab from within the eyesight, please let me know and I will come grab it from the thing, because we don't know where these books that we are looking for are going to be in relation to those things.
Can I ask an out of game question?
Yeah.
We're in the library. There's bookshelves everywhere, right?
Yeah.
How, on a scale, how big is this library?
Yeah.
Big.
Matt, like big, like we're talking 3-story, we're talking 2-story.
Sure. Yeah. No, big.
New
Three-story.
York City Library Central Branch.
I've never been inside, but let's say yes, something
All right.
like that.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot of books, and there's a lot of chance that they don't even know which book it is yet. We don't know for sure that they have the book yet or anything
Yeah.
like that, right? That's the information we have.
Correct.
Well, and yeah, that's I figured we may have to divide and conquer, and so if any of the books on the list that we're trying to get here happen to be the ones that they are looking at or in their eye line, like I can just like pop over.
Is it organized?
It
Yeah.
is.
Thank God.
Is this a maintained library, or is this something that got buried and nobody but the cultists really mess around in anymore?
It was maintained up until it got buried. It does look like the cultists have been here a while. There are some stacks that they have not reshelved, right? But those are out in the open, plain, easy to see. You don't think you're not sure if something has been keeping up the library. It may have just gone undisturbed, which it would still be perfectly organized.
I look to Cosmo now and I go, do you want all the books?
I mean, I do, but we can't take all the books, so I'm going
I
to
pull out my little flimsy black hole and I go, I don't know about that.
Is this a physical card catalog, or has this already been digitized?
Oh, good question.
Um,
And if it's been digitized, is there electricity currently running to this building because it jumps here?
I will say there are both, but currently it looks like the lighting in this building is not electricity based. It seems to be mostly oil and candle
Interesting.
light.
So it's a little bit more older.
So we need to get to the hard drive.
She says, look, I ulterior motive for casting that non-detection on myself. There are some books I think I need and would like to grab that may put us at a little risk. So just in case, because research is my whole entire brand, I protected myself so I wouldn't accidentally do something stupid that would hurt all of us. However, as much as I'd love to get more of these, right now, to minimize the risk, we should, as a group at least, just focus on the ones that we were sent for.
I give you my extra dimensional hold in. I say, get what you need.
You also
You're
had
a
come
wonderful
here.
hero and a goddamn scholar.
You also had come here looking for answers
Yes.
to Bale.
Yes.
So you have 2 tasks here. We are about to wrap for the evening.
Same exact group next week, though. So.
Yeah. So we have everybody coming back. I would think decide amongst yourselves who's going to be searching for what.
Nice.
We'll do some skill challenges next week, and we'll see how making the way out of the library it goes.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much for playing. What'd you guys think? How you feeling?
Yeah. Great.
Great.
Good. Yeah,
Very good.
definitely.
Good.
Just so we know, again, things I misread. Thank you for doing the clue thing with me. I do not get the entirety of that skill until later, so we're going to
Okay.
ignore the fact that we know about elder brains and the worms, and we're just gonna know the cultist thing. And so because this is the one clue, because I can do extra research through the company before I can do extra facts and research through the agency. The clue number thing is different a little further on. So I'm gonna say that I used a different feature, but I can only use it so often. So I won't be able to like use a bonus one next mission or anything. So I've got a specific pacing of how I can do the clues and the resources for research for case files. So I'm just letting you know I'm gonna scrap the other ones because we're doing this one.
The worm one.
We don't know.
Porthos's entire thing is that he's connected with the carry-on, meaning.
Well, then maybe
worm.
he knows anyway.
Yeah, I would say that's a good way of tying the info.
Cool.
I am okay with you guys knowing the info that I told you. It's easier than you pretending not to.
Okay.
It's there. We're good. We'll just know better for next time.
Yeah, like I said, it was all very scattered and in weird places, and I was trying to track down the right versions of everything.
We're learning.
But and also again, that's my thing is I'd rather test out and learn new things now than like 3 months down the road when I'm like several levels ahead and I just like fucked something up. Like this is still the beginning. We're all allowed to learn new class things. I just feel I don't want it to feel weird or like I'm lying or like in 3 weeks be like, why don't you use your thing? Oh, I can't. Like I don't want it to become that because I'm honest.
No, you're good. You're good.
Cool. Right.
I'm in the same boat. Like that, the class has got like, oh, you get this ability, and then it disconnects completely.
Yes, yeah.
Like, and here's a string of abilities. It's like, what?
It's like a couple of times it's like they're trying a little too hard not to make their book lay out like D&D, so they sometimes make it a little less organized than it should be. And so I'm running into a little bit of that, but at least I found them. Like I know these things exist, and that's cool.
Yeah.
So that's all. But yeah, I had a good time.
Well, good.
It's been fun.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Meg, for joining us.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here.
Finally,
Glad
yes.
to have Norda around.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, we are going to see you guys next time. But until then, be cool.